Hi, I'm Loraine Prokopiou, physiotherapist and Pilates teacher. This is level 3 in our series of 3 of our Reformer and Tower workouts. This is going to be our toughest one so far. We're going to focus quite a bit on the push through bar. We're going to work springs from above and below. I've thrown in some strong leg spring work as well. And then we're going to come onto the Reformer and work with a light spring, doing a lot of sort of kneeling and standing work. So something a little bit different, I hope. Working on a lot of those more advanced exercises. Just a quick word on what I'm working on. This is an Align Pilates Pro Reformer. It's an A8 and obviously has the tower attached. So I'm set up here with the push through bar with 2 blue springs on the top, and we're just going to get started nice and upright through the spine in this kneeling position. I'm just going to inhale, prepare, and exhale, grow a little taller. And then inhale, I'm going to start to bend the elbows and exhale, straight the elbows, and then inhale to bend and exhale to straight again. And we'll just keep that coming. Throughout this workout, there's going to be lots of 3s. So 3 lots of each exercise. Generally, that's going to be a rule, but not always. But that's with 3, my first straight back. And now we're going to take this into a cat. So as I push down, I'm going to follow the bar with my forehead, rounding the back forwards, and then gently push the bar forwards a little bit as I reach into that cow position, and then tail tuck to return through the articulation, through the spine, through the flexion, and returning all the way up into the upright. So take your time here for the slow movements to articulate the spine, feel that movement, warming up the spine, feeling the abdominal connection, and really getting your mind into your body movements and that easy control. And here's my last one. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, flexing through. Inhale to release. And then exhale to really control that all the way back up. Trying to keep my thighs vertical throughout. We're going to do a thread the needle next. So I'm going to pull down and just push through and find a neutral spine. So I'm my shoulders are slightly higher than the hips here. Then I'm going to lift one arm up and just turn and rotate and then thread through. As I lift and rotate, I'm pushing the bar away a little bit. And then as I rotate and thread the needle, I'm letting the bar lift a little. This is a small movement, but it just kind of encourages the twist as you work. There's my 3. So I'm going to lift this time and then land the hand down, ready to do the other side. Inhale, lift, pushing the bar away a little. Exhale, rotate, and allow the bar to lift. It just kind of responds to your movement, so don't worry about that so much. I'd more focus on the rotation through the torso and that arm lift. There we go. I think that's my last one there. Good. Reach and lift. And then land the hand and return all the way up. We're going to drop down into like a shell stretch now. So I'm going to drop my bottom back onto my heels and then just push through. And we're just holding here, finding that stretch, bottom on the heels, and just pushing the bar through. Release a little to look to the hands. Take the left hand over on top of the right and push through again. And I'm looking down towards the bench here. Release a little, slide the underneath hand on top. Push through again, and then I'm going to listen to my left bicep as I'm pushing through and feeling this lovely stretch through the lats on this side. Release, reset to center, another one into your center, just bottom stays onto your heels, and just try and reach the push through bar through, or forwards. Release, right hand on top of left, pushing back again, looking down to the bench. Release, slide that underneath hand on top, push down. And this time I'm listening to my right bicep as I'm reaching through. I'm feeling that lovely stretch. One more back to center, pushing through, and then rolling all the way back up into a kneeling position. We're going to come around into sitting now and keep that sort of theme coming of warming up, connecting into your abdominals as you're working. So I'm sitting, I've got my feet against the uprights. You could, if you prefer, have them against your shoulder rests if you've got this sort of setup here. I prefer the more sort of classical version, having the feet against the uprights. And then we're going to do a push through sitting. So I'm going to roll back, drawing my tummy muscles in, push through the bar, and then control back the way I came, and then reach up for the stretch. Let's do that again. Rolling the pelvis back, press the bar down almost with your abdominals and push through, looking down towards the bench. Go back the way you came. You've got to really control the up thrust of the spring here, and then reaching up for the hamstring stretch. One more round. Roll back, abdominals connect to push through, and control the return. And reaching up. Good, we're going to do round the world or port de bras. So I'm going to keep one hand on, reach through to that opposite upright and just kind of reaching, letting the bar lift and feel the control here. Sweep the arm out and around, then sweep the arm over the ear, and then go back the way you came and reaching up and through. Inhale, reach out and around. Exhale for the stretch. Inhale out and around, and exhale back through. One more round. Trying to keep the sit bones nice and level onto the bench as you work. Here I go, I'm swapping to the other side, reaching through, find that twist, reach out and around, then sweep the arm over the ear, and then return and press through. I often think I'm taking my hand around the equator and then up over the North Pole, and then I go back the way I came. And one more, out and around, up and over, back the way you came. And then we'll just finish this setup, pop the hand onto the push through bar there, and just gently reaching up. Feeling that stretch as you let the bar lift, press almost the little finger border of your hand into the push through bar, and see if you could just lift your coccyx but hold your ribs into your front pockets and just feel that lovely stretch through the torso, and you might be getting some into the backs of the thighs as well. And then release. We're going to come into feet onto the straps using push through, using what's called parakeet or push through sitting. Now this sits quite high, this push through bar, so I'm going to pull it down, just rest my or heel on there, and then just lying down on my back and then get my feet organized. So I've got my feet about hip distance, the arches of the feet are onto the push through bar. You may find you want a sticky mat here. So I'm just going to try and keep my pelvis neutral, bend the knees and straight the knees, and just double check I'm in a good position here. So when we're into the push through position, I want the push through bar kind of lining up with the uprights. I'm going to do one more round here, and then we'll go straight into the change. So I'm going to bend the knees, straight the knees, and then roll through the spine and come up into a bridge position. And then I'm going to melt the ribs down, one vertebra at a time, hitting the mat. Low back presses into the mat, then bend the knees. I'm trying to reset the pelvis into a neutral position there and control that as I then work those legs. And then articulate through the spine up into that high bridge position, and then melting down and controlling, release, and controlling that push through bar back again. We'll do one more round like this. And controlling up, and controlling back down again. And then we're going to make another change. So I'm going to push up and stay there when I get there this time. So rolling up. Now really thinking about keeping the pelvis still as you lift one leg, land it back and switch and do the other leg. And we've got 2 more rounds there. So you're trying to keep your pelvis nice and still in space as you're alternating those legs. I'm always just pushing against the push through bar rather than trying to grip onto it with the feet. That'll tend you into cramp if you try working that. So rolling back down, we'll reset, bending the knees, pushing through. And if you feel like you're losing the bar a little bit, walk your feet back up so the arches are on. Here comes another change. You roll up into that bridge position again. You stay at the top. Then you're going to bend your knees. 3, 2, 1, release. Another 3, 2, 1, release. Last one. 3, 2, 1, release. And roll all the way back down through the spine. Bend and control and push away. Now we're going to put those last two exercises together for our final little hoorah here. So rolling back up again, stay there when you get there. One leg lift, pull, 1, 2, 3, reach, 1, 2, 3, reach, last one, reach, land that foot, other side, 1, 2, 3, reach, don't take it too low, you're going to lose it. I nearly did then, last one, reach, land that foot, and then rolling all the way back down again. Bend, push through, and then we're going to come out of here. So I'm just going to hook that sort of Achilles tendon just to hold the bar down, and then just assist me back up so I can untangle without letting it completely recoil. We're going to pivot around onto the back now and work some teaser. So I'm going to take hold of the bar. And then we'll just again take a moment to line up. I'm going to take the legs out long and straight, bend the elbows and reach through. And again, I just want to check the uprights are lining up with the push through bar as I reach that position. Obviously it can change a little bit, but that's a good rule of thumb to get you started. All right, I'm going to bend my right leg, bend the elbows, push through. And as I bend the elbows, swing the bar past the face, I'm going to come up, push the low back into the mat, and then lift that leg and roll back down again. So again, our little rule of 3 for this exercise, this workout. That's 2. I've got one more to go. And then I'm going to switch legs. Bend and control up. So really try and get the feeling of pressing the low back into the mat as you get through the sort of head and shoulders and leg lift. And that's going to help really support the spine and the torso as you're working. Nice. So hold there. Then we're going to try working both legs. So bend the elbows, lift the head, lift the shoulders, and come on up into that teaser position. And then we roll back down again. We've got 2 more of those. Now, if you don't like this, if it feels like you're not able to hit that flat back position before you land, then stick with the single leg option. Okay, I have got 2 more rounds. We're gonna come on up and hold, and then I'm gonna bend and straighten the elbows for 3, 2, 1, and roll back down again. Here we go, another round, roll up and hold. I'm going to lower and lift the legs, 3, 2, 1, and all the way back down again. We have got our final round, putting those 2 together, rolling all the way up, bend arms and legs together at the same time. There we go, I've done my last one. And then all the way back down, reach, nice. And then come all the way up and we'll release that bar. I'm going to drop one spring off now so we can have a nice little active rest. Dropping down onto one butt cheek here, and we're going to come into a mermaid. So the hand is slightly in front of the line of the shoulder. Sweep the arm up and over the ear, come into your side bend, and then a return. We're just going to do 2 more of those. Up and over, and a control, and a last one, up and over. And a control, the return. We'll do our final little set here with the rotation. So come up and over, hold, land this top hand, separate the hands, keep the round back as best you can as you do your 3 bend and straighten of the elbows. Keep the elbows straight on the last one. Control back up, let the bar come up and through, and just push the bar up to the top of the tower. We're reaching into that stretch. Go back the way you came, draw your tummy muscles in, pressing through. Back hand comes to the front, return to the side bend, and then come all the way up again. You can release the bar there, and then we'll flip and do the other side. Taking hold of the bar, just our 3 regular mermaid first, up and over, return and control back. Trying to keep the sit bones down as best you can as you're working here. Feeling the control through the shoulders and the work through the waist. There we go, that was our last one. Let's work the rotation. Up and over into the side bend. Separate the hands. Inhale as you bend, exhale to straighten. So use that exhale to deepen the twist, drawing the tummy muscles in towards the spine. That was our 3. We control up, reach the bar up towards the top of the tower, lengthening through the spine as you go. Back the way you came, push the bar through, back hand to the front, return to the side bend, and then all the way up and releasing that bar. Nice, so we're done with the push through bar sprung from above. So let's unhook that for now, and then we're going to work into these leg springs. So I've chosen quite a strong leg spring, which is a red one in this situation. So I'm going to loop my feet into the springs, and let's just feel what that feels like. So I'm sitting, or I'm lying, I should say, and reach the hands up for the tower, and we'll just start a bend and stretch. So I've gone for a lateral rotation here, a plie in first. I'm pushing against the tower to counterbalance the weight or the pull of the springs. Let's reach the legs long and hold. Bring the legs parallel and just lift and lower. So control the recoil of the spring, trying to keep the pelvis neutral. Use your glutes to press into the straps as you reach and stretch the springs away. Here's my last one. Keep the legs long and away and take some little scissors. Forwards, back. Controlling through the center. Last 3, 2, 1. Reach the legs long and then return. Now you can repeat that set again, or we'll work into a magician. So you're going to reach the legs away. Now keep reaching the legs long and on the diagonal. Push into the straps and roll up into your bridge, and then return back down again. 2 more of those, drawing in through the tummy muscles as you reach and lengthen. Control back down again. Last one. Nice. Release. Let's take a little pause, legs back up into the air. Repeat, press away. This time you're going to reach and stay there and make some little scissors in our magician. Lift the scissors a little higher, walk a little lower. Lift a little higher, walk a little lower. Last round. Reach everything long, and then reach back down again. Let the springs come back up, and we'll take the feet out of the straps there. Great. Okay, so now we need to take this push through bar and attach the springs from below. So we'll just get that set up. So I've got the safety strap here. So I'm going to loop that around here and hook that in there. So that's nice and secure. I'm going to use these springs, these blues. Let me come up into standing so I can get those off. And I'm going to attach them down here into this loop that I've got at the bottom. So we'll work this one in here. And I'll attach this one. And then on this side, I'm going to have this one ready for action in a moment. Right, so do you remember the teaser work? Let's have a go at that now. So we're coming down onto your back again, and let's just start with a chest press. Just kind of get the feel of what that spring resistance feels like. It's not too strong, but it feels like it's giving me some resistance there, and I'm nice and secure with that push through bar. Right, let's try that first round. So I'm going to straighten out the left leg, right leg is bent. I'm pushing through and up, and I'm driving up into that teaser position. Good, that feels nice. Let's go again, pushing through and up. It's quite nice actually. in that, so you really feel like you've got something to drive up against as you control up and through. So abdominals and arms here. Switch legs, pushing through and reach, controlling back down again. Now just to make things completely even, I've got to do one more. Pushing and rolling up and releasing back down again. And then we can work both legs. So resetting, let's give that a whirl. So drawing it through those abdominals, coming up into your teaser and reaching and controlling back down again. 2 more of those. Last one. And release. Right, let's do the rest of the set. So we push up and hold the teaser, bend, straighten the elbows. Now really control that spring. Remember, the spring resistance is coming from below. You've got to control it as you bend your elbows. Legs, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and last one. Last round, both together. Here we go. Reach it up, a bend and a reach. Legs and arms at the same time. Last one. Ooh. Excellent. Oh, well done. All right, let's just, I'm scooting around. I'm going to add that other spring. And then scoot up a bit higher, and I'm going to work the legs now. So bringing the feet up onto the bar. Toes are on. Now I'm just going to push up and down. So reformer work is coming up, but I'm not doing any footwork. So you can consider this your footwork. So bending and straightening. Now it would be lovely if we could really keep the pelvis into a neutral position here, but this is quite tricky with this amount of hip flexion. Quite often that pelvis will roll a little bit. So let that happen if it's happening for you. Last one here, hold at the top. We're gonna flex and point the feet. Use this as a nice active rest after all those lovely teasers. Last 2 and 1, and then we'll put those 2 together. So bend, straighten, flex, point, bend, straighten, flex, and a point. 2 more rounds. A few more reps than my 3 here. I'm enjoying them for a little active rest, as I said. All right, there we go. That's our last one. So release that down. And then carefully scoot out from underneath, and then we're gonna unhook all of this. So taking the springs off first. And then we can take this safety strap off as well. Okay, let's get the reformer set up. So we'll take the mat converter off here, and I will just scoot this underneath. And then we'll just set this up. So I'm going to go with a light spring, because as I say, I'm going to work a lot of kneeling and standing stuff here. So I'm actually, in this reformer, I'm going to use 1 red and 1 blue for this first set. And we will put the platform extender back on and bring the foot bar up. So we're going to come into a kneeling position now, holding on to the foot bar, feet against the shoulder rests, and we'll drop the bottom back towards the heels there. And then we'll just take a little cat-cow just to feel that movement through the spine. Exhale as you tuck the tail in and under into your cat. Inhale as you reach into cow, and let's just do 1 more of those. And then coming back into the cat to finish, and then we'll take this into a down stretch. So start pushing the carriage away with the thighs, then uncurl the spine into a slightly extended cow. Pull that back in. Here comes another 3, 2, and a 1. Press away, and then return the way you came in. So bending the knees and tucking the tail to return the carriage. Let's do 2 more rounds of that. So push away, uncurl, pull in and push away. Inhale to lift and press, lift the chest. Exhale, push away. Last one. Inhale, start to bend the knees, and then exhale as you bring that carriage back home again. Let's do one more round of that. Inhale, start to push away. Exhale, control into that extension. Inhale to pull it in. Exhale away. Inhale in. Exhale away. Last one. Inhale, start to bend the knees, pulling the carriage underneath you, and then really control all the way back. Lovely. And then I'm going to put the left foot onto the carriage here, just slightly hooked onto the heel, and then push away out into my splits, and then control back in. So we're trying to find that nice stretch here, back of this front leg. So hamstrings on the front leg, quads, hip flexors on that kneeling thigh. Let's do one more. Press away and control all the way back in. Let this front foot slide completely on to the platform extender. Just lift up to hug the moon, and then we'll turn and open the arms out. So I'm turning towards this front leg and just feel that little stretch there. Lift the front hand just for a little bit more of a twist, a stretch. I'm feeling a really reach from the kneeling knee to this top hand. And then land that hand down onto the foot bar. Lift the other one to the sky. You could hold here, or if you can, lift that back knee off for the twist lunge. Then we're going to land that hand. We're going to take this into a long stretch. So push down through the hands, draw up through the tummy muscles, step back with that leg. So now you're into your half plank. We're going to push out and control back in again. So if you wanted, you could work this on your knees. If you're doing okay, up with the knees off into that full plank, then take it. All right, I'm just going to take this last one, and then as I come in, I'm going to step forward with the right leg, land that back knee, and I'm ready to work into the other side. So straight into that single thigh stretch, or Eve's lunge, if that's what you know it as. Pressing away, finding the stretch, controlling back in. Last one. And control back in. Let this front foot slide forward so it's completely landed. Lifting the arms, and then open out for the slight twist there, and then reach the top hand up and get a lovely sense of reaching from the kneeling knee to the top hand. And then we'll land that hand, reach the other to the sky, and lift the back knee off if that's okay for you. Then we're going to step back to that plank again. So land that hand, push down through the hands and lift up. And then this time just come into almost like a down dog position. We're going to take this into up stretch. So push the carriage away, uncurl from the tail to the head. Shoulders over the hands, drop the head, pull the breastbone into the belly. So really get that flow through the spine as best you can as you're working here. We're going to try working a snake later, so we want to prepare for that. Now we're going to go one more, pushing away. Shoulders over the hands, head drops, rib cage pulls into the belly to bring you home. Walk the feet forwards. We're going to take an elephant now. So we're going to take a flat back elephant, shoulders over the hands, or think about the breastbone staying still and over the foot bar as you push the carriage out and in, and really feel the control through the pelvis as you return the carriage using those hamstrings. Nice. We've got one more here. Then we're going to hold, lift the right leg, keep the pelvic headlight, so keep the pelvis square to the carriage as you reach that leg out behind you. 3 pulls in with the standing leg, so pushing the carriage away, pull it in. That's my third. Then I'm going to lift the leg and let the pelvic headlights twist. As I lift that right leg to the sky, I'm trying to lift my left armpit. Keep lifting the leg as you press the carriage out and in. Hold at the end. Return, and let's do the other side. So I call this a 3-legged elephant. You might call it arabesque. So reaching the leg out behind you, pelvic headlights square to your carriage as you push out and in. Once you've done your 3, Lift that left leg, try and lift your right armpit. So you get that rotation all the way from the foot to the hand across the body. Reach and lengthen and feel that stretch. And then land back down again. Now carefully come up into a standing position. Now do be careful because I'm standing right now on the moving part of the reformer. So be careful as you're moving here. And I'm going to come around, and now this might be a good point for you to get your gondola pole if that's what you use regularly for the side splits. So I'm setting myself up here. I've got 1 foot on the platform extender, 1 foot on the carriage, and I'm lining myself up with this back headrest, and then I'm going to come on up. So you might like to use your gondola pole here for support, or if you're working with a trainer, make sure you've got a spotter. All right, so I'm just going to push out and control back in again. So I'm just going to do 3. This is quite strong for me with a red and a blue on. Let's take it one more. I think that might have been 4. There we are. And then rest there. And then I'm just going to scoot this foot so the big toe is kind of on the edge of the platform extender. And then I'm going to take a big step out with this carriage leg. I'm actually going to see if I can hook it against the headrest there. And then we're going to push out and in from here. So now I'm thinking more control through the inner thighs. And one more there. Then I'm going to push half the way down, hold, fold at the hips, reach down for the carriage with one hand and the silver runner with the other. And I'm using my hands here to help guide out and in. Now, of course, if this forward fold doesn't work for you, then just stay with the upright stance if that's better. So once you've done your 3, let it come back part of the way, roll all the way back up, close the carriage, maybe reach for the foot bar a little bit for a little bit of assistance to come back up. Now, before we do the other side, we're going to take a tendon stretch. So carefully come on around, and we're going to just perch on the edge of the foot bar here. And then hook the heels over the edge of the reformer and just sitting nice and upright. Now I've actually got my sit bones kind of in front of the foot bar here. So I'm kind of wedged between the two, holding on. I'm just pressing out and in, and this is a really nice place to stay if that's where you want to stay. Otherwise, come with me, holding the legs out straight. I'm going to push down through the hands, draw my abdominals up and in, think cat as I lift my bottom off, and then just push away. Lift off and push away, one more like that. And then let's make this bigger into the full version of the exercise, pushing away, controlling up and in. Pushing away, controlling up and in. Last one. And then all the way back in, landing on your perch, controlling that carriage back in again. Side splits onto the other side. So again, just being fully aware of your surroundings as you're coming on up, and remembering that the carriage will move underneath your feet if you push it hard enough. All right, so here we are. I'm lined up with this shoulder rest this time. Nice and upright through the spine, and just push out and in, really controlling through those glutes and hip abductors as we're working there. Let's go one more, pushing out, controlling back in. Adductors now, so I'm just going to hook that big toe on the platform extender, kind of the edge of the foot, just over the edge of the platform extender, big wide stance, and then pressing out and in here. And this is a great place to stay if you want to work this. If you want to take the fold, come with me. So halfway out, folding forwards, taking hold of the reformer with one hand and the silver runner with the other. And legs and arms are just guiding you out into a wider split as you feel comfortable going. And last one. Nice. And then controlling that half the way back. Don't run over your own hand. Return and stepping all the way back in. And then nice and carefully coming off, using your gondola pole if you have it, or the push, or the foot bar if you need it. Good. All right. So we're going to come out and we're going to work that snake. So let's pop the platform extender out of the way, and I'm going to drop down to a lighter spring for this. So just a single red, and then I'm going to drop the foot bar down quite a way here. So it's just raised up a little bit. Now traditionally you come over and then one foot up and then step up. I think that's more difficult than actually stepping on the reformer first. It feels like you haven't got so far to go, so I'm going to work that. So this far hand is on the shoulder rest, the other one onto the carriage. Step up, place this foot onto the foot bar, nice and securely, strong down through the arms, cross this leg over, and then from your tail to your head, pressing the carriage out. From your head to your tail, pull the carriage back in. Just 2 more. Inhale, push away. Exhale, control back. Last one. And exhale, push it back. And this way, you've always got the emergency exit, so you can step that foot down, control back, and then nice and controlled step off. We better do the other side. So coming on around. So again, far hand over to that shoulder rest. The other hand comes on here. I'm going to step up to the reformer. Press the weight down into the reformer, then it's not going to move. Foot onto the foot bar, weight into the hands, crossing over, and then away we go. Snaking out and a return. Inhale. Exhale, use your abdominals to pull the carriage back in. Last one, tail to head, and then head to tail. Nice, stepping out, and then controlling all the way back in again. Nice, we'll finish with a mermaid again. So let's bring the foot bar back up. We'll keep this quite light. So we'll do the mermaid the same as we did with the push through bar. So coming into that mermaid leg position, this shin kind of against the shoulder rest here, hand in front of the shoulder, lifting up and over for the side bend and a return. We'll land at the stopper and then side bend in the opposite direction. And let's do 2 more of those. So up and over as you push away, control, and up and over to release. Feels really nice. 1 more round here. And then up and a return. And then let's do the rotation. So we're going to come up and over, land this top hand, separate the hand, bend, straighten the elbows. Each straighten, draw your abdominals in, trying to wring out the spine almost. Keep the elbows straight, work from the tail to the head to look over the foot bar, and then from the head to the tail to take it back. Back hand to the front, return to that side bend, all the way up and over, and then add this final side bend on. Lovely, up and release, and then let's switch sides. So flipping over, same other side, up and over, and a return. Land and lift this arm. Trying to keep the pelvis fairly still as you're working up and over. So it's a side bend work rather than too much through the shoulders, although the arms are working. This is our last one, like this. Up and over. And then we'll add that rotation on for the final one. Up and over. Turn and look to the foot bar. Separate the hands. Bend and straighten those elbows. Again, using the abdominals. Nice, easy control through the shoulders as well. Keep the elbows pretty straight. Work from the tail to the head to come up, and then head to tail to push the carriage back away again. Bring the back hand to the front, return to your side bend, return all the way up and over. Finish off with that side bend in the other direction. And then release. Come on up into standing. We'll just take a moment's reset into our standing position. So feel the feet on the floor, feel all that work you've just done, and then let's work the arms up and out and around. Just a nice easy arm circles, up, out and around, and we'll just do 1 more. Up, pause at the top, just let the armpits easy drop. See if you can grow any taller as you work the arms out to the side and roll. and take a rest. And well done, we made it all the way to the end of level 3.